Deja Brew again, back here with another beer review. This is day 2 of my 12 days of Christmas. My own little advent calendar that I made for myself. Today we've got James Boags Premium Lager. Again, all of these have a theme. I'm going to do the same theme every year. Not to the exact schematics, but see if you can guess it by what the last one was and what this one is. And then we can sort of go from there. I have a war with this beer. I haven't had it in a very, very long time. Back when I was getting married, yes, someone did say yes to me twice. They said yes to the engagement and then the marriage. Shocking, right? Back when we were looking at wedding venues, every single place had 2 beer packages. Now, obviously the guy with a beer review channel is going to care about what beers are served at his wedding. He's going to have a real interest in it. So what I found was it was 3 of almost like the same varieties of beer, right? It'd be like your Carlton draft, some other draft, and a dry. It's not what I want. I want craft beers. I want good stuff. I want the good stuff. And then there was the premium package. And I always would ask, what is the premium package? And the person would have to get up and go away and then come back with what the premium package was. And it was the exact same thing with this bloody beer on it. That was all it was. I don't think it's really that good from memory. It just gets served at weddings, and every bloody conference that I go to seems to have this beer. I haven't drunk it in a long time because usually I seek out whatever else they've got. So we're gonna give it a whirl now. 1.4 standard drinks. These guys are Tasmania. They have been bought out by I think Lion. I think Lion owns them now, and they've just opened up like all the tourism stuff again, so down there, that they kind of closed for a few years. So it seems to be that they're keeping it fine and making sure it's local to Tasmania and keeping jobs there, which is important because that is its own little island, and I liked it when I went. Reminds me a lot of New Zealand, and I do care about New Zealand as well. I should really care about Canberra a bit more where I actually live, but anyway. But let's dive straight in. So the big thing right away that I'm going to have to hit the nail on the head, my biggest bugbear in beer is twist off only bottle cap. What, like, I can clearly do that. Why is it only twist top? Why is it only twist top? Oh, this beer is preservative free, so there you go. If I taste any preservatives, then the bottle cap lied to me. Maybe it's like this beer's bottle cap is preservative free. That went into my sink. I really should keep all the bottle caps and like make a collage. So let's go straight into it. So I really want to make them lose points for the twist off only thing. Maybe if you like try to open it with another beer bottle, because in Australia everyone knows how to open beer bottles different ways when you don't have a bottle opener. Maybe it's for that. Let's go through. So these guys have been making beer a very long time. They say it's back in the 1800s. Very late 1800s, and I tend to believe them. I know this is one of our older breweries, not as old as like Carlton and all of them, but yeah, they've been brewing there for quite a while. Definitely part of Lion Group, there you go. But I know that they've pretty much left them be. I've noticed that lately with the Australian ones they bought, pretty much left them be. Don't get me wrong, they still strangle the hell out of all the other ones they don't buy out, but yeah. Head's mostly dissipated straight away. It's kind of what you expect from this kind of beer. It's a pretty carbon copy. I'm hoping that there's a bit more flavor to it. The 1.4% has me a bit curious about it. A lot of beers went down from the high percentages. I think it was in the late 90s in Australia because the tax changed. So you got a much better tax break on the beer if it was like 1.1 standard drinks or 1 standard drink. So I think it's this and Melbourne Bitter and maybe one more that are still at that 1.4 standard drinks. And I do kind of like Melbourne Bitter over Victoria Bitter just because you get more flavour. So let's have a sniff. Oh. Okay, like I said, it's been a long time since I've had this, and it was at weddings. It kind of doesn't smell sickly sweet like some of the other lagers that are mass produced. It doesn't really have that real sweet finish. There's almost a bit of depth to that. At least when I smelt it. It kind of got me salivating a little bit. So now I'm a bit worried. Now I don't know what to believe. Let's have one more sniff, because maybe I was just having a stroke. No. No, I'm getting real like barley and malt flavors from that beer. So yeah, yeah. I think it's going to be a bitter boy. I think it's going to have a bit of bitterness at the end. But I'm hoping it kind of hits all four sort of flavor bases. I think it's just going to go through. It's fine to have a simple mass-produced beer. If it gives me a bit of flavor and takes me on a little bit of a journey, I'm very appreciative of that. And if it's easy drinking as well, you kind of get extra points for that. Different beers are trying to do different things. So let's dig in. Cheers, everyone. I think it's the first time I've ever drank. Okay. Yep. That's where the compliments start and stop. I don't know why. I've always thought this beer tastes very metallic. I don't know why. It's like it's stirred with keys or something. It just has a real like metallic finish during it. I don't know why. It's just the flavor that they get from it. The rest of it's pretty good. I've just never been able to really get over that real... It's like, I don't know, it must be like real high in iron or just something in the brewing process. Must have some sort of metal in it because I just really taste it in this beer compared to others. There's nothing really at the start. A little bit of sweetness in the malt. Different kind of malt sweetness than you get from the lagers. Like I would say it's definitely preservative free for a mass-produced beer, and I am definitely getting a fair bit of sweetness from the malt that has a little bit more depth to it. Think a little bit more of a very light sort of toffee, maybe like a very light peanut brittle, maybe mixed with some toffee or something on those lines. Maybe even sort of heading towards your maple. And then it goes... Then the bitterness takes over, and then it's gone. And I'm just left with a bit of a metallic aftertaste. I really only get it from this beer, that real... I can't describe it. It really has the consistency of apple juice in my mouth. It's not heavily carbonated, so if you do get bloated from carbonated beers, this could be a way to sort of head down that road. It's not heavily carbonated. It just kind of tastes a bit like apple juice or a sparkling apple sort of water. Yeah, I'm not really loving it. It's sort of approaching to me like whether this is even a pass mark for a beer. I guess I don't hate it, so maybe it's like dead on. It's pretty much perfect crowd is that it's served at weddings and you don't have to pay for it, and then you can just have a few. I really have always struggled with this beer. Whenever I see it at a wedding, I'm just like, oh god, just because I can't really have more than one or two. And like I said, it's been a while, so I was kind of going in this with a bit of a fresh mind. But compared to like your Melbourne bitters and your other beers that have that 1.4%, in that lager route that haven't really deducted them down, there's just still no flavor with this one. It has a bit of an apple juicy, a little bit of the toffee in the malt. It goes away, but there's just always that thing of like it's been stirred with a set of keys that I don't really like very much. It's just really hard to describe this beer. Like the fizziness almost comes... The fizziness reminds me of back when I had gut issues and I had to do apple cider vinegar. The fizziness in that, where it's just the fermentation, it hasn't really been carbonated. And that's fine. A lot of beers do the natural fermentation, but I find it just gives me that consistency. I just don't really like it very much. It's not offering me a lot. I wouldn't say no to it on a hot day. Maybe to start off at a wedding if I just wanted to have wine and just sort of let loose and get myself started. But there's so many better beers to do that with. So really, there's just not really... I just don't see the market for it. I don't get why this is at every golf club under the sun in Australia. I'm really sorry, Tasmania. You have great beers down there, don't get me wrong. Like, I've been to a few. Like, Bronny Island Brewery is probably one of my favorite breweries. Just full stop, end of sentence. Not favorite breweries in Tasmania. It's one of my favorite breweries. I really like Hobart Brewing. I think there's one with a Fox name that I really like down there as well. So I don't really want anyone from Tasmania to get this and be like, he's coming after us. And I think these guys do like a triple X beer or something like that. And that has a lot of flavor and that has a lot of depth. And that's a really good beer. That was one thing I was thinking of. But this one it's just so meh. To use the word premium, it's pretty wild when, like, if I did a blind taste test, outside of the key taste, you could line up 5 beers. I would have no idea what this is. It has no traits that just lead it into, oh boy, it's premium, compared to just the cheapest beers that are going. I don't think I'd really taste the difference. Maybe that the carbonation is a little bit less heavy, so it's premium because of that reason. Yeah. I just think it's the premium beer for a bygone era where people would go, oh yeah, this is a little bit better than your Carlton or something or other. But yeah, it's just not great. It's just not great. So that is the beer review. I know I've got to rate it, don't I? Is it a pass mark? I don't think it gets a pass mark, honestly. There's just nothing going on with it. I'm going to give it a 34 out of 100. The word premium really does affect this beer, but like a lot of those ones were like golf premium beers just aren't good. Like they're just not. Like be better than them. If you're looking at wedding venues and you see this on the premium thing, they charge you up the absolute wazoo to have that beer on there too. It's not like it's a little cheap thing. No, it raises the drinks per package like by $20 a head, maybe $30 to have this thing on there. Ridiculous. Just ridiculous. I hope I don't go to another wedding where that beer's there. I'll definitely go to a work conference where it is. Anyway, I'm sorry, Tasmania. Like I said, I love your other beers. And just the general vibes down there. It's great. This I don't understand. Just, you could do away with it. The 4X one's good, but or the 3, whatever that one is, that's good. I've got the draft in the fridge, so who knows? Who knows? Maybe that's the winner. And this one just isn't. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you haven't made it this way, hit the like button. Always hit subscribe. That really does help us out, especially motivation-wise. If I just see that even go up by 1, huge motivator. Comment down below. Is there any beers you want me to try? I can source them. I can find them. I can look them up. And then I can review them. Please don't make it James Boags Premium. That's it. I'll try to avoid ever having this beer again. Which makes me think that I've rated it probably too high, because I will avoid this beer, but it's not that terrible, but it's just not great. Anyway, yeah, thank you so much for watching. Christmas is coming. It's coming. It's about a little more than 2 weeks away, so we're right there. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and cheers.